The city of Murfreesboro's water treatment plant, where the city's drinking water comes from, recently had some upgrades to the system that draws in the water from the Stones River before being treated.
Okay, we're at the Stones River Water Treatment Plant, raw water intake building number 1 and number 2. Raw water building intake number 1 was built in the 1940s. The second intake was built in 1979 to help expand the capacity of the water treatment plant, as this became the only water treatment plant for the city. In the 2 intake buildings, we've just completed some work. Intake building number 2 was completed back in about April of this year. The building was repainted. We also replaced the traveling bar screen. This is our Envirotech traveling screen, and it's used to remove the trash, sticks, leaves, some silt and stuff will be removed from it, and that prevents it from going into the wet well where the pumps are located. These are raw water pumps 4 through 6. Each one can pump approximately 6 million gallons per day. 2 of these are about 2 years old. Number 4 and 5 are 2 years old, and number 6 is probably about 16 years old. Then in intake building number 1, which was just completed last week, it was rehabilitated on the top and bottom. Okay, back in the 1940s when this was originally built, the pumps number 1 sat here and pumped water from here to the Broad Street plant. It started flooding over the years, so they built the upper area and moved the pumps up to that location. Okay, this is pump station number 1 with pumps 1 through 3. As you hear, we do have 2 of the pumps that are running, so this is about as loud as it gets in here. All 3 of these pumps were just recently replaced and went into service a couple of weeks ago. These pumps are from the same manufacturer that we had in here previously. Those pumps had lasted a little over 35 years. You know, our raw water pumps, we have 6 at this location, 3 in each building. We rotate those pumps to give them kind of an equal wear and tear. Typically, you'll see a pump get about 15 to 20 years is what's expected. So anything above the 20-year mark is definitely icing on the cake. Yes, at the intake here, this is the East Fork of the Stones River. And at this location, it's basically held back by the Walter Hill Dam. Okay, so as the level rises and lowers at the dam, it's obviously going to rise and lower here at the intakes. So as long as we're not having a bad drought, then we have sufficient water above the dam here to provide about 60 to 70% of the water for treatment. This year's been great. Yeah, we've had plenty of rain. We also have an intake about 8 miles from here. That's our auxiliary intake. That was built in 1999 as a reason for droughts that we had experienced previously above the Walter Hill Dam, and so we needed more water. That location can provide us about 18 million gallons a day if we needed it. Typically we only pull about 40% of our capacity from that location. At the raw water intake, water is pumped from here to the treatment plant. The only thing that is added at this location is sodium permanganate, which is used to remove some taste and odor, as well as manganese and iron.